You're listening to The Deep Dive with Mike and Mandy.
Buckle up, everybody. We're hitting the gas on this deep dive and taking a turn into the fast-paced world of NASCAR.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
You bet it is. But we're not just talking about any ordinary race.
Oh.
No, sir. This deep dive is inspired by a recent news story about a celebrity career change that's really got people talking.
I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right, so picture this. You're flipping through channels. You land on some classic sitcom reruns.
You mean like Friends or Seinfeld?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
But instead of Jerry or Kramer, you see
Frankie Muniz.
Malcolm. Yep, the one and only. But here's the kicker. Muniz is trading in those Hollywood laughs for a shot at the NASCAR big leagues.
Wow, that's quite a turn.
Right, from Malcolm in the middle to a middle of the pack, battling it out on the racetrack. Now that's what I call a plot twist.
So, what exactly is this big career move we're talking about?
Well, get this. Frankie Muniz is going full throttle into the NASCAR Truck Series next season. We're talking a full-time gig in 2025.
Hold on, full-time? So this isn't just a celebrity stunt. He's serious about this.
Oh yeah, he's all in. He's already signed with Rum Brothers Racing.
Rum Brothers, huh? They're a solid team. Definitely on the rise.
Exactly. And the team owner, Josh Rum, seems pretty pumped about having Muniz on board. He's even said that he sees some real potential in Frankie, beyond just the name recognition.
Well, that's got to be encouraging for Muniz. It sounds like he's got some good support behind him.
Definitely. And you know what's really impressive? He's not even waiting till next season to get back on the track.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
He's actually got a Truck Series race this Saturday.
This Saturday? Wow, he's not wasting any time.
Nope, he's diving right in, head first. He'll be racing at the Homestead Miami Speedway. I bet he's feeling the pressure.
I bet. But hey, this isn't exactly his first rodeo, right?
You're right about that. Muniz isn't some rookie fresh out of acting class. He's been quietly honing his racing skills for years now.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that. Wasn't he involved in some other racing series before this?
That's right. He's already competed in the RCA series and even NASCAR's Xfinity series, which is a pretty big deal.
So he's been working his way up the ranks. This isn't some out-of-the-blue whim for him.
Not at all.
Yeah.
He's been putting in the work, gaining experience, and showing everyone that he's dead serious about making it as a professional driver.
I gotta say, that's pretty admirable. It takes a lot of guts to walk away from a successful career like acting and chase a completely different dream.
It really does. I mean, you'd think after all that time in Hollywood, he'd be content to kick back, maybe do some guest spots, enjoy the quieter life.
Yeah, you'd think. But I guess for some people, that itch to compete, that need for a challenge, never really goes away.
I wonder what it was like for him making that decision, walking away from the world he knew to dive headfirst into something so intense, so demanding.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. From the red carpets and movie premieres to the roar of the engines and the pressure of the racetrack, that's a pretty drastic change.
It makes me think about other actors who've made similar leaps. Like, I remember Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, McDreamy. Yeah, he got really into racing too.
Exactly. And then there's Mayim Bialik. She went from Blossom to becoming a neuroscientist.
That's right. It's fascinating, isn't it? What is it about these successful people that pushes them to seek out these completely different paths?
Maybe they crave a new challenge, Like they've achieved success in one area and they're looking to push themselves even further.
I can see that. It's like they're saying, hey, I can conquer this too.
Right. And maybe for Muniz, there's a sense of, a sense of control, maybe. Like on the racetrack, it's just him in the car, no scripts, no directors, no studio execs.
That's an interesting point. He's the one in the driver's seat, literally.
And maybe there's an element of pure adrenaline too, that rush you get from pushing yourself to the limit, the speed, the competition.
Yeah, you don't really get that on a movie set.
Unless you're doing your own stunts. But even then, it's not quite the same, is it?
No, I guess not. But, there are definitely some parallels between acting and racing. Both require incredible focus, dedication, and the ability to perform under pressure.
That's a great point. And in a way, they're both about entertaining an audience, right? Whether it's through a captivating performance on screen or a thrilling race to the finish line.
Exactly. And it's interesting, Muniz's connection to NASCAR actually goes way back, even before his racing career.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading about that. Didn't he have something to do with the Daytona 500?
He did. Back in 2001, he actually drove the pace car for the Daytona 500.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Talk about a front row seat to one of the biggest races in NASCAR.
Absolutely. For those listening who might not be diehard NASCAR fans, the Daytona 500 is like the Super Bowl of racing. It's the most prestigious race of the season, steeped in history and tradition.
It's a huge deal, for sure. Millions of people tune in to watch it every year.
Exactly. The energy at the track is electric. It's an event that captures the hearts of fans everywhere.
And speaking of the 2001 Daytona 500, that race, well, it was a pretty somber one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Sadly, that was the race where Dale Earnhardt Sr. was killed in a crash on the final lap.
That was a tragic day for NASCAR and for racing fans all over the world.
Absolutely. And, I can only imagine what it must have been like for Muniz witnessing that firsthand, even from the pace car. It really underscores the risks involved in this sport, even for the most experienced drivers.
Right. It's a sobering reminder that behind all the excitement and the glamour, there's a real element of danger.
For sure. It takes a lot of courage to strap yourself into one of those cars and push it to the limit, knowing the risks.
But hey, let's not dwell on the negatives. Coming back to Frankie Muniz and his big career switch, it really feels like more than just a publicity stunt.
I agree. I think there's a genuineness to his passion for racing. He's been at it for years, quietly working his way up the ranks, and now he's finally getting his shot.
It makes you think, doesn't it? What dreams are we putting on hold? What passions are we ignoring?
Right. It's never too late to chase after what you truly want. Muniz is a great example of that. He could have easily stayed in Hollywood, but he followed his heart and took a leap of faith.
And who knows, maybe we'll see him celebrating in Victory Lane someday. That'd be quite a story, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing. But even if he doesn't make it to the top, he's already inspiring others to go after their dreams. And that's pretty powerful stuff.
Absolutely. So next time you see Frankie Muniz on your screen, remember he's more than just Malcolm. He's a guy who dared to dream big and chase after it no matter what. What will you chase after?
Think about it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time.
Keep on racing.
All right, so buckle up, folks, because we are diving deep into some serious fast food drama.
Fast food and politics. This is going to be good.
Oh, it is. You see, we've got this Senate race in Pennsylvania that's gotten, well, let's just say spicier than a jalapeno.
Spicier, huh? I'm intrigued.
Our main players are incumbent Democrat Bob Casey and his GOP challenger, Dave McCormick. And the battleground. You wouldn't believe it.
Lay it on me.
It's the price of a McDonald's hamburger.
No way, really? A hamburger? That's interesting.
Oh, it gets even better. It all started with a certain someone flipping burgers.
Hold on, let me guess. Was it?
Trump.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Remember that photo op of him at a McDonald's in Feasterville, Pennsylvania?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. All over the news. It was quite the image. A former president, just like one of the guys, flipping burgers.
Exactly. Pure political theater. And less than 24 hours later, bam. Casey, along with Senators Warren and Wyden, sent a letter to the McDonald's CEO.
Warren and Wyden, huh? Those two don't usually mince words when it comes to corporate power, do they? Nope, not at all. Their letter basically accused McDonald's of price gouging.
So what are we saying here? Did Trump's visit trigger this, or is this just a coincidence?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The timing is undeniably, shall we say, suspicious.
Suspicious indeed.
And of course, McCormick, he pounced on the opportunity. He basically accused Casey of playing political payback.
Makes sense. I mean, from a strategic standpoint, it's a pretty smart move.
Right. He called Casey, and I quote, a partisan career politician engaged in vindictive pressure tactics.
Oh, wow. Those are fighting words. You don't just throw those around lightly.
Exactly. It's all very carefully calculated to appeal to a certain type of voter, the kind who are wary of government intervention, the pro-business type.
It's all about framing, right? You hit the nail on the head. He's painting a picture of Casey as someone who's willing to use his power to punish businesses for political reasons.
Exactly. So you're saying this isn't really about burgers at all?
Well, on the surface, it might seem that way. But dig a little deeper and you see it's really about sending a message. It's about tapping into that government stay out of my business sentiment.
Which, let's be honest, is a pretty potent message, especially with the economy being so, well, unpredictable these days.
Couldn't agree more. But, we have to look at both sides of the coin here. Casey's letter does raise some valid concerns about McDonald's, about their market power and how that affects prices.
True. They argue that McDonald's, being such a huge fast food chain, has a lot of influence over food prices in general, and that this can really hit consumers hard, especially folks who are already struggling.
That's the crux of it. Whether it's intentional or not, a company that size can inadvertently contribute to higher prices just by, being so big.
So is it possible that Casey's letter was genuinely about protecting consumers?
It's definitely within the realm of possibility, especially with Warren involved. She's built her entire career on challenging corporate power. This issue aligns perfectly with her agenda. Of course, the timing does raise eyebrows.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? And McDonald's wasn't just going to take this lying down. They fired back, claiming the senators had their facts wrong. They even pointed out that their $5 meal deal is actually cheaper now than it was back in 2020.
Oh, interesting. Classic deflection tactic, right? Highlight the positive, shift the focus.
And, they also played the franchise card, emphasizing that it's the local owners who set prices, not corporate.
Strategic distancing. Makes them appear less like the big bad wolf and more like, well, just a bunch of small business owners trying to get by.
Pretty clever, huh? But Casey's campaign wasn't backing down either. They hit back, calling McCormick, and I quote, a rich hedge fund guy who doesn't care about working folks.
The classic out-of-touch elite attack, a tried-and-true tactic.
And they painted Casey as, you guessed it, the champion of the people, standing up against corporate greed. Fighting for the little guy.
It's all about reinforcing that image, right? The fighter, the defender of the working class. It's a powerful narrative, especially in an election year.
Wow, so what started with Trump flipping burgers has turned into this all-out political brawl. It's about so much more than just the price of a burger, isn't it?
It really is. It's a microcosm of much larger issues we're grappling with as a society. Things like corporate power, economic anxiety, the role of government. It's fascinating to see how these national narratives filter down and play out in local races.
It's amazing how something as simple as fast food can become a lightning rod for these bigger issues.
It speaks volumes about where we are as a country, doesn't it? When people are worried about making ends meet, even a small jump in the price of a burger can feel like a symbol of everything that's wrong.
That's a really good point. It makes you think.
It certainly does. And it also highlights how politicians use these everyday issues, these things that people can relate to connect with voters on a deeper level.
It's all a game, isn't it?
In a way, yes. But it's a game with real consequences.
That's the truth. Well, folks, there you have it. What began as a seemingly harmless photo op has spiraled into a full-blown political showdown. Strategic maneuvering, sharp rhetoric, and a whole lot of economic anxiety simmering beneath the surface. It really makes you wonder what seemingly mundane thing will become the next political battleground. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep an eye on those burger prices.
You never know what they might reveal.
Exactly.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into some pretty serious stuff.
Yeah.
Sean Diddy Combs, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Seems like this guy has it all, music mogul entrepreneur.
Right.
But now he's caught up in this legal storm.
Yeah, it's
that could really wash it all away.
It's a lot.
So we've got lawsuits, we've got these federal charges.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of accusations flying around right now.
It is.
You probably remember that abuse lawsuit that his ex-girlfriend filed.
Right, yeah.
And they settled that, but
They did settle that one.
things have just gotten way more intense since then.
Yeah, they have.
So we've got our expert here to help us kind of break down all this legal stuff.
Happy to be here.
So let's start with this sexual assault lawsuit that was filed by a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And the details are really shocking.
Yeah.
One of the things is that a professional athlete had to intervene.
Oh, wow.
So what makes this particular accusation so important?
Well, with this kind of accusation, it really changes everything. Because
Right.
now it's not just he said, she said.
Right.
You've got this potential witness who's a professional athlete.
Right.
That raises the stakes.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, this is a lot more serious now.
Okay. And then you add, on top of that, you've got these federal charges.
Yeah.
Sex trafficking
Uh-huh.
and racketeering.
Right.
Help me understand this. Like,
Sure.
what do those even mean, and how do they relate to Diddy?
The sex trafficking that suggests that they believe he exploited someone for sexual purposes,
Okay.
maybe using force,
Wow.
coercion, something like that. And then the racketeering charge that implies that there's a pattern of criminal activity.
Okay.
Also
Right.
like
Well,
a structured enterprise.
So like an organized
like a real crime type thing.
crime, but instead of like the mob activities, it's these serious offenses.
Wow. Okay, so this is some really heavy stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just one isolated incident.
No. There's also this man who's claiming that Diddy assaulted him
Right.
at a Ciroc vodka promotion,
Oh, wow.
and that Diddy exposed himself.
Yeah.
I mean, is this starting to look like a pattern of behavior?
Well, it definitely raises that question.
Right.
I mean, they'll look at each case individually, but when
Sure.
you see multiple accusations with similar themes,
Right.
that's a red flag.
Okay, and then you throw this attorney, Tony Busby, into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
He's representing over 100 people
Wow.
who are accusing Diddy.
That's huge.
So what does it mean to have a lawyer like that?
Well, he's known for going after powerful people.
Right.
Institutions.
Yeah.
And when he gets involved, it lends a lot of weight to these claims.
Sure.
I mean, he must think he has enough evidence to win.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid of a big fight.
Yeah, he's not afraid of anybody.
No.
Some of the accusations are just really disturbing.
Yeah.
Some people were saying that they were teenagers
Right.
when this allegedly happened, and others are saying that they were drugged and forced to do things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how can they pursue those accusations legally?
Well,
Considering they happened so long ago.
that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
The statute of limitations varies
Right.
by state and what kind of crime it is.
Yeah.
But with sexual assault,
Right.
especially if a minor's involved.
Okay.
Or if someone didn't realize what happened for a long time.
Right.
There might be exceptions that let them go forward.
Okay, so Diddy's lawyers, they're denying everything.
Of course.
But there are so many accusations and so much media attention.
Yeah.
It's got to be having an impact.
It is.
Do you think Diddy can come out of this unscathed?
It's hard to say.
Yeah,
The court of public opinion is powerful.
it is.
Even if he's acquitted, his reputation might never recover.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I've got all these lawsuits,
Mm-hmm.
super serious allegations, this
Yeah.
top lawyer
Right.
representing all these accusers,
Yeah.
and the media just going crazy.
It's everywhere.
It doesn't matter what happens in court.
Right.
Diddy's future is looking really uncertain.
Yeah, that's for sure.
This whole thing, it makes you think
It does.
about innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But then you've got all these people coming forward,
Right.
and what they're saying is really serious.
It is.
So how do we balance that?
It's a tough one.
There are no easy answers.
No.
And it's a conversation we need to have as a society.
We do.
Keep watching this story. It's going to develop.
Yeah.
It's about more than just Diddy.
It is.
This could change the music industry,
For sure.
celebrity culture,
Yeah.
and how we handle these kinds of accusations in the future.
Definitely.
So yeah, stay tuned.
It's going to be interesting.
You're listening to The Deep Dive with Mike and Mandy.